Ai, that too.
That
Chua talk about today, and I would do that.
tough questions. Kishila to talk with that. 당부대로 양치 대된 로메 두고 좀 패션 등무도 대된 로메 두고 그시라. Just as all sentient beings are the cause of our happiness, would the devil's advocate say they are also the cause of all our negative karma? Is that wrong or just not a useful view? 아니 계시라 삼진 탐제와 삼진 탐제랑게 대외 and 규인 반응신라바 and the devil's advocate says senator devil's advocate the dirba 계시라. It's very hard, isn't it? Devil's advocate senator mini 계시라 아니지 내주지 돌라바 Kishila Kishila country shoot general that on the lobster shoot and lobster shoot and Kishila the Bennett dinner Kumbulu down I had to be Jawara at Casa Gakars and Dalentala I had to took the remote and Tango and Kiran take Kiran number shoes not and the look to cars cheap it our singing is that deal or deal devil's advocate do you get that Tim Jubasura do you get to say or take terrible with the devil's advocate and devil's get do you get Tim Jubati my and Karan negative karma you in la good basata Simji Tamji Rangut the way curious or they should die the Kumbulu church and Karan my and Karan as a Karanki and negative karma curious lam tickets. Good love good best than this.
Love good.
Yes, he will. How? We don't know.
Tanda Dilara Luvaya Deogi. Any Power Tommy
Kumbulu.
Tanda Dero, Aya Deo Marwa. The Louis di Power Tommy Jungurwa.
Nare.
Jada, and the Louis that. The Kumbulu do should do is what that do is what do. Do should do Imba said do what there is. And Jumbo did do generalish. Then to Dundella loving you get Dundella weird. Answer things on me Ribbons out the Delagro. Simjit Hamje David Juina Yinyam race. Nina and a Dungege Jures. 직들이 이네 심지 탐제 파거딘 체샤그래서 예 심지 탐제를 파거딘 체샤그 대난시 심지 탐제 그냥 예 심지 탐제를 파거딘 체샤 심지 탐제 영어로 추거딘 체험듯이 예 파거딘 체샤그 저단다 거딘 치는 체냐래네 그래서 데 뭐니 지르고 이나디 냠내를 팽겨요 말에 데릭데 삼담 바이나 아니 릭바 쳐버사디 용고로 고 뭐니 주 릭바 임바이나 릭바디 Yamlena Pinky Mavin, a Ribachevas, or the Rig Samnotanju Yomar, the Samnot, when is the rare? When is the Yinzelogi? Simju do the Pinky or a Pinky Yomar. Teza the Samecho, the Samnotana, Manzo Cargo, where is Randa Shin Samala, gave Simji get over Chigo Yoro. Samecho, the Samdana, gave a Lochigiore. Samecho, the Samnamadam, Yembesho Samja. Gevele sagbe yui na migeve sagbe le yuire nyambare ta gewasana sanyare migevasana sanyare stene te lezi chaya nyanga do ro ni teda an ngomelam chedu zo tinde oda rigbat inde ta ri ngoy ne zu ge rigbat inde yorwa de zu ge simgi du dan la pingi mewe ina sha sha gore ko ngoy ne zu ina 내가 샤주리 미실지 제요 말와 어디 숨겨.
So let me first of all share an anecdotal case to come to the point. First, you know Asanga, and Asanga had a brother called Vasubandhu, and Vasubandhu was highly cynical of Nagarjuna. And then Vasubandhu said, Nagarjuna is emanation of Nagarjuna is emanation of Mara. In fact, he is Mara. And my brother has now become a follower of the Mara. And that's what Vasubandhu said. So, in this case, indeed, all sentient beings are cause of our happiness. But then some quick-witted charlatans, they would also say, indeed, at the same time, they are the cause of our problem, aren't they? And it goes both ways, doesn't it? Yes, it does. And if so, such kind, is it valid to say that sentient beings are cause of our harm? Yes, it is valid to some extent. But now, such a thing doesn't help our cause. If you dwell on, if you dwell on smart lines of reasoning, which seem to be factual, but doesn't serve the purpose of spiritual growth, then it is considered a misguided line of reasoning. A line of reasoning, in that case, you can say to you, if sentient beings are really kind to me, that's true. But I have also been kind to them, so fair and square, nothing to be grateful. Is it true? You have been kind to them, and then to think that you should stop feeling grateful to a sentient being on the grounds of being fair and square doesn't help. And it is therefore we need to dwell on the beneficial, the useful line of reasoning. So otherwise, we will become lazy by dwelling on such quick-witted, unuseful, seemingly factual line of reasoning. Tatul. What is the rationale behind mind-only schools stating mental consciousness is unstable base for predispositions? And Geshila any semsambe yigen namshi raba bakcha kwese ate tembu member cha karichin yiji go maresa.
Madre. La de la gora yiji namshi de tembu member de semzambage. Tubdana la shebade yona ne munju de yogo yoresro munju jores yinza ane yiginamshi de mebe negab de shagore simebe negab benangzo tembatorwa negab ge simeba da tadugi ta dendu yuring busan simeba de simi negab ngaro shagoro simi bena be ni tobu kube negabla nanak tumdo de negabla simyo marela 아니 템바제어와 산산랑도 답자쇼 템바제르기도 되게 심요 말해서 아니 고발라 냠바쇼베 내가 냠샤니로 고발라 냠바쇼베 내가 심요 말해서 고바 셈베 더바 심자고 삼아 가서로 심요 말해서 아니 직딜레 데벨람 대람몬데 기베 내가 달레딜람 뭐지 다 심담베기 세상 심매베 내가 샤요 예인자 이 남시 때문에도 그 매버 차도고도 제 내가 안 할래 저 치마 파샤네 제 내가 안 할래 그 매베 내가도 채나 그 매버 인자 때문에도 그 바자냐 두고 말해서라고 좀 전들다.
The mind-only school proponents contend that mental consciousness is not a stable base for predispositions because there are times when mental consciousness ceases to be. Mental consciousness ceases to be. If it is a consciousness, it always it needs to be in a manifest form. As far as mental consciousness is concerned, there are times, as many as 5 occasions, contexts when it is non-manifest. For example, the times are deep sleep, dreamless deep sleep, or when you fall into coma, or when you go into absorption or cessational absorption. In deep sleep, mental consciousness is non-manifest. It can't function, and the same is the case with a person in a coma and person in cessational absorption. So mental consciousness is not only unstable base for predisposition across lifetime, even in this lifetime, given these situations, due to its dormant and non-manifest state, it cannot be the right repository for consciousness, and therefore it cannot receive predispositions when it's not aware.
어디라고 다 뒤도 다 신다가다 주.
다 Geshe-la has taken us up to Paragati in terms of the journey on Mahayana path. Thank you for that, the path of seeing. Geshe-la kaza anichi lamga tuzu choro, sharing bungaton anichi kade Paragati tonglambad anichi teshakyon tuji ches, Good Geshe-la now take us on Parasamgati. Parasamgati or path of meditation on the and the Bodhisattva bhumis by eradicating the 9 rounds of Karsata. Geshe-la tu si ta Parasamgati ni ya chenan komlam ro komlam sachu. Tene anichi ta komlam koru ko pang sui chik sono na sono.
really.
Tadi dringi na was.
Dadi lamga ki todan de shena ya wo yoraro. Ta danda dusre. Tholam pargadi se de ta tholam na shizuk sogora. Tholam kisin onzo donyungusum de thwa de tholam che tene gabla ane jigdinlen debe lam ane phalam thawa ane lamden sar de thawa ane chogunjo da thongma de ne thawa khansan di phagbe khansan chawa oduzu sanzam dire tang de nga sanzam dila shashar da tisabulena da huge dig da.
In fact, I have taken to a really good place. You're on a Paragati. You have gone as far as part of seeing, and to where if you have arrived, you have reached trans-mundane path. You have achieved noble truth of path. You have achieved jewel of Dharma. You have become an Arya Bodhisattva. So I would be very happy to have achieved these many things.
Da kesi Chansim tholam lips nana ninge la deshe jag mare choranza the chow to the ne sunjung is nyen chogores chedan beje jeromuchen zo that beje jidun jambe shesiya de beje tholam chansim tholam topsebe ta ingire ro kasana chow to chansim tholam ne yanjela ne chow to chengwe sije chow to ne da sunjung ningo ro 제가 통람 톱사나 드네 고람 사주도 해야 돼서 마신나네 초두드네 승주년의 디그라 디니야 샤잖아 상응에시네 야다다 대이고 말아
초그저는 롱구를 봐 초그저
롱구 sorry 롱구
so
아유
once you are on the path of seeing, because you have become an Arya Bodhisattva, and then if you really want to know the Parasamgati and beyond on all part of meditation and be grounded, how to be grounded in in Buddhahood, rather you would have access to Sambhogakaya Buddha. It's your privilege. It's your perk, it's your privilege of being Arya Bodhisattva to be able to get teaching from Sambhogakaya Buddha and then ask Sambhogakaya Buddha, how do you do this? And rather than me revealing everything here, have access about these from higher authorities.
and 단당에 제가 장난시나 아니 지메 룽구디세 저 가르치는 시에 띵안저 시에 쳐라
And I've also forgotten if I tell everything, and Sambhogakaya might appear to me and say, what have you been doing? That's our job. That's our domain. What are you doing in our territory? So, by the way, Lama Tsongkhapa, is said to have Lama Tsongkhapa received teaching from Manjushri directly. You can deduce that Lama Tsongkhapa was on the path of seeing to be able to get teachings from him, from Sambhogakaya of Manjushri.
지 단에 제르무신 구들레 예다 ngoma da dang 지라 남다도 지라 교요 말아 지라로 치스타 도 남마망고 남다데데로 언제서 제르무신 구들레 여어디 마차 지든 잠에 셰스니 망고 쇼도
So in the past, I didn't have much information. I didn't used to know much about. Not that I know a lot now, but in the past I didn't used to know much about biography of past great lamas. However, when I started reading, showing some interest in their life, as an example, as a model for practice, and when I read Lama Tsongkhapa's life story, I was quite amazed that there were a lot of his contemporaries and others who could who were able to receive teachings from Manjushri.
단다디 기승안조 디셰 마하자 기록 차제 첨부디 네 지든 잠배양게 돈된 잠배 장조 당 제르무신라송 와 제르무신게 송사데 데르샤 파스추 이젠제신 파스추 이젠제 파스추 이젠제야 지든 잠배 제시기도 제시 네 당보 케르르무신 전에 기겐르샤 케르르무신 기도르샤 치스 아니 지든 잠배가 저런 제르무지제네 숭주 쇼고를 지 차진 쇼고를 했지 아니 파스추 이젠제지 파스추 이젠제야 지든 잠배 셰시기도 제자 아니 다 제승이 먹고 싶어도 라마 우마와 셰시기요래 돈데 잠배게도 셰시기요래 제르무지 셰시기요래 만자데 지든 잠배 셰승이 디 카드도 와다 먹고 싶어요서래 봐
I also talked to you about Geluk Mahamudra, how it was taught by Manjushri to Lama Tsongkhapa and Dokten Jambel Gyaltso. And now, if I said it differently, I want to make maybe I want to rectify. Lama Tsongkhapa taught it too. Lama Tsongkhapa passed on Mahamudra to Baso, Chuegi Gyaltsen, Baso, Chuegi Gyaltsen. Baso Chuegi Gyaltsen was a disciple of Ketup Rinpoche. Ketup Rinpoche, and Baso Chuegi Gyaltsen also could see Manjushri, and Manjushri said to Baso Chuegi Gyaltsen that you should now start getting teachings from Lama Tsong, from from Lama Tsongkhapa, get Mahamudra teaching. So at that time, these are some of the contemporaries of Lama Tsongkhapa, Dokten Jambay Gyaltso, Lama Omapa, Baso Chuegi Gyaltsen, and so on. They, including Lama Tsongkhapa himself, they could see and have access to Manjushri.
다 파수 추진제 아니 줍진 추기도 지사데 나도와
So Baso Chuegi Gyaltsen, he passed on the Mahamudra transmission to Mahasiddha Chödoje Dhamma Vajra.
다 줍제 추기도 지사니 베데 류 다 성지지 고마 산지 고마도 베데 단다디 참숙세 내들라 베 예베 소르chen 추스 미든데 술량 레다든데 제기요 슈데요 베다 이시 구라나나 슈데요로 줄라 데 케두 산제시로 다디 바로들라 줍제 추기도 제게다 최송세 까발케네 마라잔 인기로와다 꿀루디 아니 잘루식베 소르다 간다 담에 풍부디 바세제 이란 시기다 산제기다 롱구 남바다 간다 두스텐 슈니 치스 아니 케루 산제이시라 아니 양가디 페진 이제 줍제 추기도 제 꾸츠 제네 안 숭베 소르스도아디 디카도델라 덴데스도 다디인데 디난라 덴데 손시 차진 가도 단다라오지 단다 줍제 추기도지 디 나사게다 냠레 나세 룽바디다 텔로도 짱라도 짱라 디 라도베이나 수수 레다이나 단다이나 제그리스 어딘데 송다 단다 안스 케루 산제 시지네 벤젤로산 추이겐질송 벤젤로산 추이겐제 딩에 기승 슈인 바라 단다디 아니 벤젤로산 추이기 마르마레 줍진 추이기 도제게 아니 딜나로 하자 겨원사발
long
와 겨원사발나 겨원사베 아니 케루 산제 신나 아니 겨원사베다 그 남루 소리를 아니 벤젤로산 추이겐제 아니 케루 산제 신지 벤젤로산 추이겐제 난도와 어딘데르샤데 대 차제 용당지 여러와디 카투델 닝 저거셔도 지 마중림지 여러 로데는 닝 저거셔도데
Kedu sange shir su number sala.
Kedu sanje shila
Nangende.
dire shakaza. Jawa sawa.
Kedu sange shir nang. Ti pension ale.
Ani deni jawa sawa guji de benje losan chujin charwa. Ani kedu sanje shinji benje losan chujin nandwa.
Nos.
Dendero jirishte.
So Baso Chuegi Gyaltsen gave the teaching to Drupjin Mahasiddha Dhammavajra, and this Dhammavajra, great Mahasiddha, is said to have achieved rainbow body because the place where he meditated, he was not found to be. And so he remained in rainbow or mental body, and so it is assumed that he disappeared because he couldn't find his karmically connected disciple to teach to. However, Ketub Sangye Yishi, a master maybe few generations after him, is said to have seen this Mahasiddha, and was able to get teachings. Anyway, so to account for the line of transmission of Mahamudra from Mahasiddha Dhammavajra passed on passed on the transmission to Wen Sapa, W-E-N, but it's pronounced as a Wen, not Wen. W-E-N-S-A-P-A, Wen Sapa Losang Tundrup. And he passed it on to Ketub Sangye Yishi. Ketub Sangye Yishi, the one who saw, the rainbow body of Chö Dorji, the Mahasiddha Chö Dorji. And Ketub Sangye Yishi then passed it on to Penchen, the first Penchen Rinpoche, who was a reincarnation of Wen Sapa. So you can see this order instruction root text.
Gonlam sigdo gonlam sido khasna ta me tholam ji ne ga so toni ngusum de sa do to wa te yangja toni la yang ne yang de komba yang ne yang de jedang ne do komba lams la yang ne yang de komba lams yang ne yang de kom yang ne yang tongba ni ngusum do wa yang ne kom bena tholam ji ne ga de la ane toni ngusum do lam de thomba kunda ge samen da che wa ngoni che te bang ba de la ane tholam ji ne ga ya ane 남들 남 타고 여러 대내가로다 꼭된 신이 상황 타고 통란들 냠샤다 아니 제도니 냠샤라 파제면라다 남들 남체 파제면란데 아니 딘지군다 그 아니 사변의 집에 원인체 대방배 들러 트베 트와들 남들 남도 대내가들 아니 통반 사변의 방배 꼭된 사데 다 통람이 내가서라 덴바 신나게 단단한 꼭된 사지 도와 왜 덴바사데 신이 상황데 드네 토고요다.
So before we talk what is Gomlam part of meditation, part of meditation is familiarizing again and again with that earth-shattering, direct empirical experience of emptiness on the part of seeing, on the part of seeing. So then that is gone into, as it were, in meditation again and again and again, to overcome many subsequent layers of delusions and obscuration to omniscience. So now, on the part of seeing, please, if you don't know, part of seeing has two mini systems, if you like, called path within it, while remaining in equipoise on part of seeing. In that equipoise has two small systems. One is called Barchamelam, uninterrupted familiarization, uninterrupted path. It's called uninterrupted path. And uninterrupted part, what it does is the direct realization of emptiness that counteracts conceptually or intellectually or philosophically acquired grasping at true existence and others. So it just drills into it, as it were, constantly. And in the same meditation, they achieve the second mini system called liberated path in the same equipoise, and that after having drilled, after having attacked constantly intellectually formed conception of true existence, then it is perfectly effectively severed, and that severance is called namdu lam, liberated path, liberated system within that equipoise, and that liberated path is called Gokden. True cessation is one of the many examples of true cessation, and this is the first true genuine cessation whereby intellectually acquired conception of true existence is now permanently eradicated.
다 되네. 야 제도라 샤는다. 로 통람이네가 냠샤다 다 바제면 남들람체 제도 현당에 지금 방법 인스도 가르방도 상당한데 안 통방데 방다 공방방 줄하대요. 다 공방방 줄하대요 인자 아니 다데 공방데 다 공방세데 다 현재 당 아니 다 현재들 자시 당에는 군다 다 현재스 코는 디코디에요 당에는 한줄 람 코든 차시 다 현재데 공방세요래 아 딘지 현재들 봐 아니 다 현재데 샤인데 다 딜라야 아니 시디브다 데 산제 공방토 파드 주지 되버체 현재들라 숨치 락바 딩 타무 숨체로 락바 딩 중무체 숨친딩 중숨체
체중long big long
다 채워들라 양자 콜레 채워라 친딩 중숨체 딩월라 친딩 중숨체 총월라 친딩 중숨체 고차송하다 당연히 어디 여쳐 반자 고차송하다
So after experiencing cessation, then the Bodhisattva rises from that, and they will be in post-meditation called Jetop, post-equipoise time. In post-equipoise time, now they have time to think, what have managed to overcome? Oh, I have managed to overcome Tompang, means intellectually acquired grasping or conception at true existence, which is object to be abandoned or overcome on the path of seeing. Therefore, Tompang. Tong means seeing, Pang means abandonment on seeing, as it were. And then it says, oh, I haven't, what is there that I need to overcome? Then it says, I haven't overcome Gompang. And then it says, there is a series of abandonments, abandonments on meditation that called things to be abandoned, or degrees, shades of true existence to be abandoned on part of meditation. So now on part of meditation, now they make attempts at eradicating innate grasping at true existence. And now the innate grasping at true existence has 9 different grades, as it were. Okay, they are done in this way. First is a big grade. Sure. Yeah, okay. Great. Okay, first there are three big categories. Great, middling, and small. Now the great has got three things. The great of great, middling. Okay, I'll say them once more. Great of great, middling of great, small of great. And then move to the middling, broad middling. The middling has again three shades. Number one, great of middling, GOM, isn't it? Grade of middling, and then the next one is middling of middling, and small of middling, SOM. Okay, some, and then small. Now we move to the third main category, small. Small has grade of small, GOS. Okay. Grade of small, middling, middling of small, and small of small. I'm not saying anything, sorry. Otherwise, you might think I'm cheapening things. Sorry.
That is my Guja.
Long.
That Guja, that on the Chemboge, Chembojiva,
No.
Chemboragua, Chembo de la Nichore, Chemboragua, Chembo Tamus Nijina, and Juchazada.
Chembo rubber.
Chembo de la Chembo Ding Chungura.
No.
Chembo de la Yo Niche, Rakbata, Nancy Niche.
No.
That Juchazon, Banju.
No. So, the temporary chumuric.
Chembo.
So,
Ranu said, Chembo Shisha.
yes. So, remember the grade of the grade, the grade of the grade has two small divisions. Okay, please bear with us.
And
the grade of the grade has two small divisions: coarse grade of the grade, and coarse and subtle grade of the grade. In all, there are 10, because there are 10 bodhisattva bhumis. Now we have to map these onto 10 bodhisattva bhumis. So if you start with cause of the grade, okay, please. Okay, please, are you with me with the translation? Okay, if you start with the cause of the grade of the grades, okay, then that will be the first bodhisattva bhumi. And then the next one will be subtle of the grade will be second bodhisattva bhumi. And then if you keep now, the third would be grade, the middling of the grade, and up to small. Okay, then keep on writing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the 10th one, you will end up having small of the small for the 10th bodhisattva bhumi.
That's it.
Have you got okay? Do they match? Thank you.
Tadi chane tadila that sachu dila parjinju do parjinju.
No.
Oh parjinju de ya jimbane parjinju re nyamne zo share shago yore ha dus.
So now these 10 Bodhisattva bhumis, and they and whilst they practice, all of the 6 perfections, but they achieve special competence. Okay, so they nyamlin chelak means they achieve special competence, proficiency in 10 perfections. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Other people? How come? So like Geshe-la says, there are 10 Bodhisattva bhumis, and the practitioner on each of these bhumis achieves special proficiency, special magnanimous proficiency accordingly, such that the Bodhisattva on the first ground achieves proficiency in perfection of generosity. Last question.
다 세부 찾으면
And kita konsen ta passion to bechelan karakara ino.
파진 두기들 탑도 말람 이시디로 파진
Top roll.
사당불라 진배 파진체
Long.
사니월라 안에 추dim체 안데네 아치 사 두버서와 사 둠바 겨고 저어디 jel라 안에 탑도 말람 이시 두준 파진 주시디 디샤고로 진소 파진 두간라 탑체 톱체 말람체 이시체 이게 지야면데 안에 파진 주사 어디서
So what are the 10 perfections? The first one is perfection of generosity, a special area of proficiency by Bodhisattva on the ground. The second is perfection of ethics or moral ethics. It's now Bodhisattva on the second ground also achieves special proficiency in ethics. The third, special proficiency in tolerance or patience. Fourth, special proficiency in enthusiasm or joyous effort. And fifth, samadhi. And sixth, wisdom.
어디에 싫어지 파진 랍송하데 싫어지 파진디라네 기승에 라인 바사 두베 내가라 아니 자조 계지면 동다질라 냠바셔도 니기 아니 딩이진지 싫어지 용그레스 고벌 냠바셔 봐 디데 싫어지 파진 냠내 칠라고 임 좀젠데 어디 두고 기승에 랍송하다 당zo 자조 계지면 동다질라 냠바셔도 해야 사 두베 내가라 용그레 랍송하 어디 다 싫어지 파진디 냠내 칠라고 요 인자 한테 내가라 아니 자조 계지면 동다질라 냠바 파르 주바당 수 당와데 사투번에 누발레고에 줌젠데 요르다
Have you got Bretta, all the thing? Pardon? The fifth was samadhi, concentration, and the sixth one is wisdom. Okay, now before the translator moves on, I like to say, Geshe-la says, on the sixth Bodhisattva ground, called the manifest, the Bodhisattva achieves enhanced or special proficiency in wisdom. In that, unlike Bodhisattvas before this ground, now Bodhisattva on this ground, in a very short span called one moment of a completion of activity, which is the time it takes for the pans of the scale. When one goes down, the other goes up. How long that is, I don't know. But, translator, when I say I'm sorry. So in that short period, Bodhisattva has gained so much proficiency that in no time goes in and comes out. Does such a profound meditative equipoise on wisdom in a very short space of time. And therefore, unlike bodhisattvas on the first five grounds, who can also meditate on wisdom, understanding, emptiness, now here the proficiency is on another dimension. And now, anyway, the seventh bodhisattva ground, the seventh perfection, everybody, please, is called Tapki Prajna. The bodhisattva on the seventh ground achieves special proficiency in upaya or method. It's called method. And bodhisattva on the eighth ground is called the unshakable. He or they achieve proficiency in the perfection of top. Bala or top. It's a power, strength. I don't know. Next, bodhisattva on the ninth ground called superior intellect achieves special proficiency in the perfection of aspirational prayers, mullam, profound prayers, and bodhisattva on the 10th ground achieves special proficiency in exalted wisdom, yishi, jnana.
I think the 8th and 9th are the other way around.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Top, melam, ishi. Right.
Right. Top, melam.
Top, melam, ishi.
I have got here. Geshe-la says, could Geshe-la please say once more? First, top, upaya.
Top.
Then top, strength, power.
Melam,
Then prayer.
ishi.
Then jhana.
Then these charts are wrong.
Which
Hello.
chart is wrong?
Chart khalabda.
Chart on the 8th ground, on the 7th ground it's method. On the 8th ground it's aspirational prayer. On the 9th ground it's power. And on the 10th exalted wisdom.
Chal ane je dumba de gyaba na goba
Ninge beje chitao de tanda nge simla de le do wa.
lost.
Nge thondu bhajing beje yang ya chitao.
Okay. Thank you for making this observation. And let me then refer to my text and confirm it.
Dice dadine sa jeva tomude ne da nyamba yorda nyamba.
So when you arrive at 8th Bodhisattva ground, now special gift.
가르스나 nyumu pangro yorda nyundi pangro da nyundi shala na shidi pangbe tanda shidi pangji zo chigo ro
No.
sa jeva ne ko nyundi shala ta nyumu shala nyundi shala pangro yorda sa jeva na.
So on the 8th Bodhisattva ground, all delusions, all mental afflictions called klesha, or obscuration to delusive obscuration are permanently eradicated. It is on the 8th Bodhisattva bhumi.
저는 뒤직 시행으로 가르스나 용조 베젤로인데 마타 사드윈 라도 네 타고사좀세 집식들에 먹고 튼 마타 사드윈 사드마들 마타 사드윈 마타 가레 마타 버래라인데 윤디기 마타 버래스 네 타고사좀세 가레 타 버래라스데 윤디 방바 인자 윤디 타 버래스 어디 네 집식들 탄다데 시행 거드네.
So from this we can will be able to see what is what. In that the first 7 Bodhisattva grounds are called mata, means impure, I mean, although the word impure is very, I don't know, heavy, but it says mata means unpurified, or let's say unpurified grounds. Unpurified grounds. The 8th, 9th, 10th grounds are called takpa, means pure grounds. Now, why are the first 7 called unpurified? When they have really, eradicated a great deal of innate delusion of grasping at true existence, because they have not fully eradicated delusive obscuration, and in the remaining 3, they are free of that, and these are called takpasasum, mata sadun, unpure 7 ground, and pure 3 pure grounds.
Oh yeah. 다 뒤주시라면 도와다. 니. 다 드린 건다. 드린 여러.
There's a discussion tonight.
드린 디체네 야고도 하다. 단다. 간상 란제드베 제 이동 간상 란제드베 제유당 간상랑원의 르 개발지 당행의 시에서 디체 아니 간상 란제드베 제 이동도나 간상랑원의 르 동도 구문도 어디 겨와디 디야고지 대지 클럽도나 야고도.
So tonight, could you discuss the difference between self of self-sufficient, substantially existing self and inherently existing self? How are they different? For example, understanding of emptiness of the first doesn't equate automatically to or with understanding emptiness of inherent existence. So please talk about that.
드네 단단 통람 예가스 네 람덴 토바 대람 토바 네 직된레 대바 아니 간산디 박베람 박바차 네 긴두군조 차바 어디 직신에 야보다.
So could you also discuss some things about part of seeing and how the person has achieved transcendental path? It's called dalam. Or also I talk about how the person has become an Arya being. The person has become true jewel of Sangha, and they have also achieved jewel of Dharma. And please discuss this.
어디 내 통람라 냠샤다 제도체 냠샤라 남 바제면란다 남들 남체 안에 대 바제면란 뭐게 되와 군다라다 군다 사면도 군다 세대 군다들 현재 기승의 직시에마 데다데도 비신고에 개점을 군다 세대 두대 온게 니 중엔 짐바 두들라 군다 쓰기 여러와 현재 세대 두달라 슈마슈 수규레나 나가 슈슈고 용데 요들라 현재 쓰고 군다들 현재 겨와지 신도네 오다.
Also consider how the part of seeing in that has 2 facets to its equipoise, meditative. I'll say that how the part of seeing, part of seeing has 2 facets to its equipoise, called an uninterrupted path and a liberated path. And what does talk about what does the uninterrupted path system do in that equipoise, and why is the second facet called liberated It's called liberated, for it has overcome its own share. That's the word. Its own share of abandonment, and its own share of abandonment is kunta, intellectually formed, grasping at true existence, not innate. So part of liberation. So part of liberation in equipoise of part of seeing only eradicates, only succeeds in eradicating intellectually formed or schooled view or grasping at true existence, not innate, and so on.
다 망세 차서 탄다 다 주저라나 아니 남들랑 내가 수 고된 토부도
And if time permitting, and then talk about how during the Namdulam liberated facet of part of seeing, they achieve Gogden, true cessation.
되네 아니 사주딜랑 오게 드버 주샤인 바 어디 마직 샤도네 보다
So then I'll go through the 10 Bodhisattva bhumis and how each bhumi has its own departments, obscuration to deal with, overcome.
디 당기나시 청등 추숨체 근데 숨숨 구체 네 당고들라 타라니 chen 주차로다 당고 삼로된 레시코나 디고.
So if we have a broad schematic view of the 10 Bodhisattva bhumis and then how each of these bhumis deals with from the great of the great to the small of the small, with the great of the great having coarse and subtle aspect, and then we can see that indeed the 10 Bodhisattva bhumis on the path of meditation, deals with a great deal of shades of grasping at true existence, delusive obscuration, as well as obscuration to omniscience from the 8th ground onwards.
Oh yeah, that in Sancho Euro the Euro Sancho show.
So tomorrow there's meditation, isn't there?
No? Oh. Ah yeah, that that's during the job. That gom jadan din ma mang do so di job. So di ma ya di ningji gol des ko mane jigden chuje yo kisin jigden chuje de sik di ma jorna jor ane di sik jigden chuje de khari me thol des takshu do stand na ya go yore.
So could you spend as much time as possible on meditation, concentration, and there's a lot one can do. After that, could you do some meditation on Nyingji, Karuna, compassion, and after that, time permitting, also recall the stanza pertaining to 8 worldly feelings or dharma, or if not, then identify them.
And then to dana tanda di gengi dungi lamdi chedan she batangi tanda dungi tamu jang se ngame lengi se yuna chimat khasa chik dewe chungwe ane dugla kawa kumshi ans sungdwa o di chik gyoje ane di khaduk des tanda de samla dan thumne yagodo.
And further to this, if time permits, could you think about transforming adversaries or unpleasant situations into spiritual force or path, particularly what was, there's a pity stanza from Kara Gomchung where he says that okay, even a small suffering now, long large dungi sejene, large lengi sejene, exhausting past karma, chime duna degurgi will pave way for future happiness. Dula gawa commission. Therefore, be happy when encountering suffering. So, if you could think about the process of remaining positive, not negative in unfortunate situations, please.
근데 동해라 가고 공사나 미든데 곰다 냠내진데 고모님 이제 저랑 툭 샬라 그래. 이나 나투 나쭈 예슬람디 디고.
So if you express your joy when in fact others see you in dire consequence, then say, are you okay? And they will think you're slightly off your mind. And then say, yes, I'm fine. And let them think you are crazy, but you are not crazy.
Oh yeah, 다되자.
Due to the nearest of these virtuous sections, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha, and lead all living beings without exception into their enlightened state. May the Supreme Soul Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. May the perfect view of emptiness that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, and acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised of the best, by the victorious ones thus gone into 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. May the King of Dharma, Tsongkhapa's way of Dharma practice flourish. May the omens of obstacles be pacified, and all the conducive circumstances be complete. The wish granting wish fulfilled.